Are you okay?
Oh, cool.
Hey guys, we just saw Samaritan on Prime Video.
That's right, everybody. Is this Samaritan good? Stick around, because we're about to find out.
All right, Billy, now Amazon's getting into the superhero game.
Yeah, man. They sure are. And I don't know if they should have, but it wasn't a horrible movie. I didn't think it was. You know,
They got Sly
we got
Stallone,
Sly
man.
Stallone, dude. And as always, man, can't go wrong with Sly.
I love Sly. He's
Cannot go
getting
wrong with
old,
Sly, man.
getting up there, but
That's right, man. I mean,
still good.
He already did some superhero stuff, man. Did some Judge Dredd. We got, the up-and-coming kid, Javon Walton. We see him recently in Entourage, and I think that's where you got to start from, is Entourage on HBO. We just saw him in Umbrella Academy. I like the kid. I think he's a good actor. We got some Pilou Asbæk, which I've seen that dude in a ton of stuff. He's been in Game of Thrones. He was in Ghost in the Shell. He's been in all kinds of movies and shows. And that dude's a good actor. I like him.
And it's directed by Julius Avery, and he's not really known for a whole lot. Hadn't done much even since 2012.
Yeah.
As far as movies and stuff, so kind of odd.
Yeah, it is odd. Then we got, Moises Arias, too, who was former Disney kid, right? He was on some Hannah Montana, had his own TV show for like a season, then it tanked and got canceled. So he's just kind of a weird dude, man. I always see him in movies and stuff, man. He's like...
it's an interesting character in this. Yeah. What's his name? Reza or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. He plays a little wannabe gangbanger.
Yeah. Skinny guy.
Yeah, very skinny guy. Tiny little dude, man.
Anytime you roll with a crew, though, you're dangerous.
That's right. Because everybody else in the crew's bigger than him.
That's true, yeah.
like he's so little, he's got a 13-year-old punching him, knocking him out a couple times, So...
Yeah, I really like the way this movie opened up with that comic book style, film and stuff. I thought that was really cool. How it did the exposition, kind of explaining the story of these two characters, the Samaritan and
the Nemesis.
The Nemesis,
twin brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, I like that. And it was almost kind of like a Freddy Krueger kind of thing, right? Oh, they burned the house down, and except this time they didn't die, the parents did, right? So you got Nemesis who wants revenge on the whole world just because he's angry because the local town burned his house down and killed his parents. But him and his brother, of course, escape because they're superheroes and guns can't hurt them and nothing hurt these kids really. So
one thing can hurt them: the mythical hammer.
That's right, the mythical hammer that old Nemesis made. Right,
yep.
And I guess fire can hurt them too, or explosions can anyway, right? So,
well, yeah, because in order for them to regenerate, they need to be cool.
Yeah, they need water, right? Exactly.
So. That's kind of interesting.
And that was a kind of a cool dynamic, right? Because, when you got superheroes like Superman and stuff like that, there's no need to regenerate for him unless he gets, exposed to freaking kryptonite and he's got to go up to the sun, right? But for the most part, superheroes like that don't need to regenerate, where this guy does, right? He's like, if I don't have water on me or ice cream, he's got like crap ton of ice cream in his freezer, then I'll overheat, my heart will explode, right? So yeah. I did like that dynamic that he actually does have has some weakness, right? So.
Yeah, and this movie's filmed in kind of a weird way. Like, it's a lot of vignetting, around the edges there. It gets really dark and almost makes, colors pop. But, the dark's, really, highlighted in this. So it's just kind of... It was a little distracting for me with some points because it kept going back and forth, especially when they were in the apartments where it was, vignetting. And I'm like, why are you doing this? It's almost like you're looking through binoculars to a certain extent because it's, dark around the edges. And I'm like...
yeah, I mean...
Trying to create, a dark, gritty atmosphere.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was creative, the way they did that. It didn't bother me. It's very... The funny thing about this movie, too, though, man, it's very, very centralized, man. It's, centralized and the name of the city is, Granite City, right?
Granite City, yeah.
But really...
Sounds like a video game city or something.
Yeah, right. But you only really see a couple of areas of this city, right? I mean, you see, the apartment complex where the kid's from, and then you see, the junkyard where the main bad guys are at. And really, that's it, You don't see too much else of this city beside that, except in, one scene where you see, this road where he comes out of underneath this tunnel where a bunch of the homeless are at. But for the most part, it's really just focused on these two areas.
But what'd you think about the story to this thing?
I mean, the story, like I said, it started out cool. I like the way they did the whole, cartoony thing, showing, okay, these two brothers are going at it now because one of them wants to protect people. The other one wants to destroy the world because, the townspeople killed their parents. And so he's just, hates the world, and they were kind of trying to keep each other in check, really. Well, I guess, the Samaritans trying to keep Nemesis in check. So it's almost like, It's really kind of and at the same time, I guess that's kind of a bad dynamic for this because then really he's the only arch villain, right? You only got one arch villain, for this superhero to go after, right, is just his brother, right? So there's really there's really nobody else focused on this as far as like who he's fighting against.
They don't really explain how they got their powers. They don't dive into any of that stuff. And the motivation to me is not very clear amongst the brothers and the actual villain of this movie.
Yeah, Pilou Asbæk. So Pilou Asbæk plays the main villain in this movie, and he like idolizes. I can't think of his name now. Anyway, he idolizes the bad brother. He idolizes the bad brother, and he wants to be like him, and he wants to finish what he started.
What's his name? Vengeance or Venom?
What is his name? Look it up, man. What the hell is this dude's name, man?
Damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter what his name is, man. But so he kind of like idolizes this dude, right? Like, and he kind of looks at him as like a hero of the people because he's trying to, tear down the world and just, basically just make a freaking free for all of chaos. But you looking it up, man?
I gotta know.
But yeah, man, it was. Yeah, I didn't like that. I wish
Nemesis, man.
There you go, the Nemesis. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, man. Anyway, yeah, the story could have been a lot better. I mean, it's cool that you got these two brothers fighting each other and trying to keep each other in check, but at the same time, it's like, was there nothing else bad going on? Like, who's,
Nah, it wasn't cool. So. They needed a lot more going on in this. And I need to know what the motivations of the characters are. I need to know why the brother really hates the other brother. I need to know why this guy is like doing what he's doing. And they get these blackout bombs that are really cool grenades.
Those are cool.
Mean, they steal them from the military, so I guess therefore they exist in real life. But but these things are like mini EFP or EMPs and
but can still kill people.
Yeah,
too,
but
right?
still have an explosive element to them.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, when they were showing that.
It was weird, but I mean those things are pretty amazing.
They're powerful as hell, man. Yeah, you throw that thing down the damn manhole and just boom, just freaking blast.
So he's just like trying to create chaos for who knows
for the sake of chaos, really. They don't really explain that too much.
That's what bothers me too. Is this guy thinks he can take on the Samaritan, even though Samaritan has like superpowers, and just because this guy has a hammer.
Yeah. So what happens? So Moses, what's his name, man? Pilou. Like I said, he's the main villain, and he's Cyrus. He's idolized the Nemesis. So he breaks into a police station, steals Nemesis' mask and Samaritan's mask, right? And he steals Nemesis' hammer, which Nemesis created to defeat Samaritan.
Yeah, he takes out one like security guard with one of these blackout bombs, and then he's good.
Yeah, that's it. That's all there was in the police station was one security guard.
Yeah. It was like one dude. I was like, oh god. You didn't even need a blackout bomb. Could have gone in there with anything.
And then they come in dressed like cops, but I mean, dude looks like David out of Lost Boys, right? His freaking hair is all like this, got the side shave.
He definitely has the Kiefer Sutherland look to him.
Yeah, exactly. Dude's got like tats all over, and this cop's like, "Oh, hey, officers!" Like, do you really think those guys are officers coming in here, man? Hell no.
That's the other weird part. Like near the end, like just like 100 goons show up out of nowhere, and they all have like very nice weapons, like automatic assault rifles with EOTech sights, and I'm like, that stuff ain't cheap.
Yeah. Well, then you got kind of like the last action hero vibe, right? You got this little tag-along kid who's, tagging along with freaking Sylvester Stallone, like trying to say, I know you're the Samaritan, because he sees Sylvester Stallone beat the crap out of some dudes. And so it kind of had like a little last action hero vibe, I guess, but it was just like, not near as good as that.
Yeah, the kid didn't work like completely with me. I mean, he didn't bother me a whole lot.
I thought his acting was fine.
I mean, Sly really like tries to carry this whole movie to me, and I mean the villain like is kind of cool with his looks, but like he's not doing a whole lot to make me impressed. And his reasoning, and as soon as he finds out Samaritan, he acts like he can just go toe to toe and like seeks him out. But you didn't give me any reason to make me think this guy could take this guy on.
Yeah, and even his underlings, right? Even his freaking underlings, Cyrus's underlings. None of them are really even cool or really memorable, except Moises Arias, who gets his butt kicked by a 13-year-old a couple times, He's just so skinny, he's got the tats on his face and everything. But I mean, even the chick, I thought she was underutilized, the one that was underneath Cyrus and kind of like his right hand man, right hand girl. And I thought she was underutilized.
She didn't do a whole lot either. I mean, she like pointed her weapon at some people and looked kind of intimidating, but
there was so much more they could have done in this movie and explained a lot more. And and again, it's kind of. Kind of like we're saying with movies nowadays, man. The writing's just not there. It's like just, it's like what's up with these writers nowadays, man? But again, Amazon is like Netflix now, and it's all about content, right? So you're trying to talk. I mean, even though Amazon does come out with some good stuff, and we've seen some good stuff from Amazon, but this definitely ain't one of the better ones. But I mean, it's all about content. It seems like, man, get a few big names out there and throw some content at it, and here we go. People are gonna watch it because of who's in it.
We do have Martin Starr, who plays Albert. He's like a bookstore owner and wrote his own book on like the Samaritan Lives, and then he's got like a little flow chart, like a link analysis thing that's going all over, like from wall to wall. That's like the most intricate, probably link analysis thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. So there's this theory out there that Samaritan actually survived when him and his brother died. Because what happened, there was this huge explosion. They're fighting each other, and a huge explosion. And then evidently they both died, is what you think. And then, of course, Martin Starr's character's like, no, that didn't happen. And of course, the kid doesn't believe it happened. And of course, you find out.
But how did they get their powers? Are there more people out there like this? They're the only ones? It's crazy.
No, he just said we were born that way. Remember, he's like, we're just genetic freaks. We're just born all crazy, So, yeah.
So are there other people that can be born like I need
they
more
can't be
to
the only
this.
ones, right?
I
They can't be
need
the only
more
ones.
to make this interesting. You can't have a super badass going up against a normal guy just because he's got a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. No, and like I said, at the end when Cyrus is going toe to toe with Sylvester Stallone after Sylvester Stallone just slaughtered like 100 of his men, it's ridiculous.
The other crazy part is like he breaks into the warehouse and everyone's shooting at him. One, they don't even show, like, they're kind of sloppy with the special effects. They don't even show like what the bullets are doing to him. Like, it doesn't even show the bullets like ripping apart his clothes that they're hitting him, but he's still taking it. Like, do the bullets just hit him, stop, or do they penetrate him? Like, what's going on there?
You mean to tell me that like he's got 1,000 bullets coming at him from every angle and not one of them hit him in the face?
He ain't like Wolverine. That's what I'm saying. He's not Wolverine too, and can like just. Or is he? Can he regenerate just like that?
Yeah, who knows?
Because like when he gets hit by the car, it takes a while and stuff. So it's just a little inconsistent and a little sloppy with the special effects with that.
Yeah, no,
and then you have all these people shooting them, and then they're like, I guess I'll keep shooting them.
Yeah. But in that scene, right, they're all shooting him and stuff. But then, he's got the hammer. Because he takes it from Cyrus. And then they surround him, and then they just stop shooting him, right? And then he just takes out the freaking columns and brings the roof down on the top of everybody.
I mean, bullets don't do anything to the guy, but they continue to try to shoot him for whatever reason.
When the hell do these guys watch like 30 other people get killed and be like, nope, I'm out of here.
And what is their motivation to fight? Like, they should just leave. Like, are they just getting paid or what?
Yeah, it's like time to get the hell out of here.
Another sloppy scene is he's surrounded. He gets into a huge like elevator with him. The door closes, and then you just hear like sound. Like it's like, okay, we're not even gonna show this because I guess it's not within the budget or whatever.
Right. Yeah. He just kicks their asses or kicks their butts, and it doesn't get to see it. Yeah. Exactly. It's that's kind of like one of the reminds me of the Die Hard scene, right? Where, like, he's in the elevator with all the guys, but at least they showed that. They showed him beating the crap out of everybody. But
the Samaritan,
there's a lot of sloppy stuff in this movie.
Samaritan lives off like Edie's ice cream and fixing electronics
cereal,
or something.
Cereal too.
And that was an interesting concept where he needed to be cool, but
he's a trash man, right? He's a trash man. He gets paid to be a trash man. So.
But even I think like his cool down stuff wasn't that consistent. I mean, you're in a building with fire and stuff like that. You get a little water, and you're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. This movie could use a lot more, man. Really could have.
I had high hopes for it because the trailer looked really interesting. Interesting concept where you got a guy that's like supposedly killed trying to blend in, and they should have played more of that up, I thought.
Well, and then even one of the big reveals at the end, the CG in that was pretty wonky, right? You could totally tell that
when they're trying to make him young.
Yeah, when they're trying to make Sylvester Stallone young in it, and you're like, yeah, it was pretty crappy CG.
I didn't mind that too much, but
yeah,
I was good. I mean, this movie. I was kind of good with like the little twist at the end too, because that like at least breathed some fresh air in it for me.
I saw that coming about 15 minutes into the movie, man.
But it didn't really change a whole lot.
No, it didn't. Not at all.
That reveal did not change a whole lot for the story, so I'm kind of like, meh.
Yeah. And even after everybody found out the reveal, it was like, yeah, okay, let's keep fighting, whatever, man. Let's
yeah, and the villain. He looks up to the Nemesis, and so he should, and he's like a big fan, so he should know the history of these two guys, and he should know what makes them vulnerable, what doesn't make them vulnerable, and he still doesn't really have a plan for them. He's like, I'm just going to hit him with a hammer, and even when he does hit him with a hammer, it doesn't do like
that much damage,
anything crazy to him. Like, yeah, he's taking some damage, but like you make it seem like it's like his kryptonite, one hit, and he should be like
done.
In trouble, because if you get hit with a real hammer like that, which it kind of like it should like negate his superpowers.
Right.
If you get hit with a sledgehammer, you're going to be in trouble.
Right. Exactly.
So
that's right. It's like the old drowning thing in Unbreakable, man.
Yeah, and it doesn't do a whole lot to him.
No.
Like he's definitely feels it and taking on damage, but not to the extent of like
that he should be.
Yeah. And And the fact that he even he's quick and catching things, and like he just lets this guy kind of like hit him with a hammer too much too. And you're like, you could have stopped that based on what you showed me prior.
Oh, yeah.
You're dodging bullets and blocking them, but you don't see this dude getting ready to hit you with a hammer.
Yeah, and you got dudes like trying to stab you, and you just catch the knife, you know.
And you know that's like a special hammer, and this dude has it. So you're like, okay, I need to pay attention to the hammer above all, because bullets don't hurt me. The hammer is the one thing that can hurt me, so I need to be laser focused on that.
Exactly.
And like he like turns his back, and it's almost like a surprise that this guy's hitting him with a hammer, and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, that was bad.
Come on, dude. Like, they just make this villain guy seem a little bit more powerful than he actually is for no purpose. He puts on a mask, and you're like, oh, is this guy like buffed up now?
He changes his voice and talks like this.
And I'm like, come on, man. You didn't give me any reason to make me think this guy's anything special.
He can go toe-to-toe with with Samaritan. Yeah, exactly.
Now, what I did like is they tried to make the villain not pure evil, right? Like, because he's trying to help the kid out and do some things, and you know, even when like his right hand girl like is kind of rough with the kid and the mom, he's like, hey man, and she's like, I didn't kill her.
Right, she's still alive.
So, so I did like that aspect.
Yeah, but then they turn around and show you just his ruthless side too.
Yeah, like with what they do with the cop, and I thought it'd been better if you just let the cop go,
right?
Because then you're kind of like the dual
still
morality of this thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But no,
but then he's like,
they're sloppy with that too.
Right? He's like, and then he's like, always give him a little hope. So it's like man, that's brutal. But yeah, man, it was okay. The movie was okay. I mean,
yeah, in this movie,
I enjoyed watching that.
It's almost like it's designed for kids, how sloppy it is.
Yeah.
But in some scenes, they hold back some on the violence, and other scenes, they show a decent amount. Like this guy looks like he's really like killing these people, even though they don't show blood or anything. So I almost feel like they should have embraced the violence and gone more hard into it.
Man.
But with how sloppy it is, I can only really see like young teens really liking this movie.
Yeah. Well, like, even when he's killing people, man, he's like stabbing people and jamming bombs into people and everything else, and you don't see any blood, really. I mean, it doesn't show any, like, blood or any kind of that stuff. So, yeah, you're right. I mean,
it almost makes you think they're not dead, but, like, I'm like, he just shoved, like, the slide of a weapon into this dude's body.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so no, he's really, there's a lot of.
And the way he throws some of these people, like, they land, like, head first into, like, a car door with great force. So you're like, that dude's got to be dead. But, you know, they make it seem like, maybe he could have made it.
I mean, probably the goriest part was when he got hit by the car, right? His bones are all cracked out of place and stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, at one point he picks someone up and, like slams them over a rail and pushes them. And you're like, well, dang. Yeah. With the amount of force he was doing it, that guy's probably, like, toast. But...
Yeah, I mean, he kills a lot of people. Like I said, it was like, did he kill them? Because you're not really seeing. But you just left to assume they're
That's
dead.
what I'm saying. They should have just gone a little bit. They should have like leaned more into that. I think.
Definitely should have, man. I agree.
This should have been kind of like he should have been in like Punisher mode at that point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt, man.
See, and that would be kind of cool. You introduce like Punisher level guys that this guy's going against. That could be interesting. Yeah. But this guy gives you like a normal jabroni that he fights because he has like a hammer.
Right. No, I agree, man. It left me wanting more, man. It left me just wanting more story, more explanation, just more action. Yeah, you know, I mean,
it had potential. It just wasn't fleshed out.
No, exactly.
So what you're left with?
Again, bad writing, man. Bad writing.
Yeah, what you're left with to me is just a pretty average movie. Like it's okay to watch. It feels like a TV show. It fills the time, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So what do you rate this thing?
I'm gonna give it a 6. Give it a 6, man. It was okay. You know, I'm not mad that I watched it. I mean, it was one of those movies that I sat down and said, okay, you know, I wish there was more to it. You know, I wish they'd given us more, but, you know, it wasn't a horrible movie.
I feel exactly the same. 6. It was great seeing Sylvester Stallone. That guy still got some acting and action left in him.
Too, man.
But, man, this movie needed to be more than what it was.
Oh, yeah, definitely did, man. No doubt about it.
I didn't mind watching it once, but I wouldn't enjoy, and I wouldn't seek to watch it again.
Yeah, no, same here. I mean... If I saw it again, fine. You know, I mean, if it was on and I'm just kind of sitting around and I'd watch it again, I guess. But yeah, wish it would have been better, dude. Wish it would have been better. You know, because honestly, man, we do need. I think we do need a new action, you know, superhero kind of flavor, right? I mean, I'm burnt out on the MCU. I'm burnt out on DC. You know, it'd have been cool if they'd have brought us a good flavor.
And the MCU
here,
does leave doors open for like an overly violent type of franchise to come in here, like a Punisher.
Oh, dude.
That's not watered down because you know. Marvel tries to appeal to a broad audience.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm ready for I'm ready for some fresh superhero, and this just didn't give us didn't give it to us, man. Not what I was hoping for.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, folks. Well, there you have it, Samaritan and the Nemesis. Hey, again, just wish it had been better. It wasn't a horrible movie. Go ahead and check it out. Let us know what you think. And hey, we love doing this for you guys. And please hit like and subscribe, and we will check you out our next review.
See you guys.
In the beginning,
I know.
I couldn't think of it anymore. I was like,
Yeah,
damn.
it's like Venom.
Terminator.
I'll just start saying some stuff and he'll remember it. Well, I was wondering because he picks the kid up and he's running through the wall. I'm like, is the kid like going through the wall first? Because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, kid.
You got super strength, not him. But he does like put his shoulder into it and turn.
But still, man, kids will be hitting with debris and shit as this.
That would have been a time to show some cool CG how it's ripping apart his clothes.
Yeah, and show some of the bullets just drop to the ground or something, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
something. That's what I'm like. Is it like Superman? It hits some boom and it just like a brick wall, or is it penetrating into him and he's regenerating somehow? Like,
I mean, it makes you seem like it's like Superman and brick wall because every time you see somebody punch him, right, it's like they broke their hands, punch the chest and stuff. But he can get scratched up because his face got scratched up when he hit by the car, right? So why not have the bullets at least scratch his face a little bit, something? You know?
Yeah, he had like a soreness and red, and like until he
his
healed.
Eyes were all red, yeah.
And that's the thing too. Is just inconsistent with that. Like, I don't know. They should have gave us the Nemesis Samaritan movie, I guess. Yeah. It's very average, guys.
37% on the tomato meter.
Yeah, but
The audience score is
loving it.
79%. Yeah.